Hello viewers, welcome once again to our classes for French for beginners. This is lesson 18. It is still continuing. It's about contracted articles, and like I said, I'm going to give you examples of how to use contracted articles so that you can know exactly where their place is in a sentence. So like we saw before, we know that the contracted articles is a combination of two elements, the preposition and the definite article. So you have the preposition A with an accent on top, and then you have the other preposition, which is de, de, plus then you have the article, which is le. It is only with the article le that is masculine. Le is article défini. Le. You can never contract an article or a preposition. You cannot contract it with la, which is feminine. And then you have, of course, the plural masculine, and this one goes both for masculine and feminine. So that is a with an accent plus les, just like you see in the table that I've put for you in this lesson. There you see the formula, which is A plus LE is equals to AU, DE plus LE is equals to DU, A plus LES is equals to AUX. So you can see there it's written properly, and now you know what is article défini contracté. So that is a definite article, contracted definite article, article défini contracté, there's two files. Then article défini contracté pluriel. So definite article, contracted definite article plural. You know what is plural, how to pronounce, masculine, singular, that is masculin, singulier, masculin, singulier, pluriel, masculin, et singulier. So those are contracted articles. Now let's go to the examples so you can see how they're used, and you know already the composition of a contracted article. So that was the most important thing, is to know that this is a contracted article is composed of more than one element. So there are two elements, a preposition and an article. So there you have the first sentence. Je vais au Kenya. Repeat after me. Je vais au Kenya. Je vais au Kenya. You know already. Je vais means I am going. Au Kenya, to Kenya. Actually, literally this sentence means I am going to the Kenya, if you were to translate it literally. But like I told you, we don't translate a language literally. You don't translate word by word. You translate the meaning. So this means I'm going to Kenya. But in French, you say je vais au Kenya. Sentence number 2, in the first row still. We are in the first row. We are going to go row by row. We have 3 rows there, and we are going to go row by row. We are in the first row. Une crème au chocolat. Say une crème au chocolat. Une crème au chocolat. A chocolate cream. Like you can see, there you when you're talking about food, most foods in French, you will see foods, or even even cakes and some of this food stuff in French, they use a lot that contracted article. So you will even see there are foods like coq au vin. Coq au vin means it means the cock with wine. And you'll have something like lubaba or rum or rum. Lubaba or rum is it's a cake, you know, which is they put some, I think this in French you will find there's so many things like that. You will find also things like une tarte aux pommes, des pains et épices et tout ça. You will see l'example I'm going to show you. French foods, because the French cuisine is they use a lot this contracted article, especially the AU or the AUX. You will see some of the dessert, even the dessert, the foods, they use a lot. In any case, let's continue. with our example. So there you have je vais. Okay, the next sentence is je vais au Ghana. I'm going to Ghana. So you realize in front of countries, actually, if when you're dealing with countries in French, you always put a definite article in front of the country. For example, Kenya is masculine, so that's you normally you say lo Kenya. It's not like in English whereby you have to in English you just say Kenya, France, England, and so on. But in French you always have to put the article. You have to say lo Kenya, la France, la Tanzanie, lo Ghana, l'Uganda. Luganda, here you say Luganda is Uganda. Actually, Uganda in French begins with O and then U, then G, A, N, D, A. Then you'll have to put an L apostrophe, Luganda. That's why whenever you're saying Uganda, you'll hear somebody saying Luganda, because there's the L apostrophe. That is L. We have removed the E, and then you have Lugonda. Then you have the OU. You have to, when it meets the L apostrophe, it is Lu. OU is pronounced U. So Lugonda. That's how you pronounce Uganda. You say Lugonda, because there's the article. That's why the article, when it meets the preposition, when you talk about countries, if it is masculine, you will see you have to say je vais au Kenya, and then you don't join. You don't say je vais au Kenya. You have to say je vais au Kenya. If you remember the rules, some of the joining, some of the liaison, when you're to join, some of the joining of the words so that they can be pronounced as one. Some joinings are forbidden. So here is forbidden. You don't say je vais au Kenya, you say je vais au Kenya. It's like you say je vais au Ghana. And then the last sentence there is tu vas au cinéma. So I hope you remember that properly. Where in crème, you say tu veux une crème au chocolat. In crème au chocolat. Tu vas au cinéma. Okay, let's go to row number 2. So we are still in masculin singulier. Repeat after me, masculin singulier. So you have that is masculin singular. It is article défini contracté. Yeah, I hope you repeat it after me. Article défini contracté means contracted definite article. You have realized that in French, when you want to pronounce many words, like for example here you have article défini contracté. You see, I have started with contracted definite article. It's in French, if you're doing translation like that. For example, United Nations. United Nations. In English, you say United Nations, UN. But in French, it's going to be Nations Unies. You're going to start with nations first, and then union. You say Nations Unies. While in English, it is united. So uni is united. Nations Unies. So here, for example, you say article défini contracté. So if you want to put it in English, you'll have to start with contracted definite article, as if it's like it is reflected, mirror reflected. It's like the translation is mirror reflected. If in French you will start with the last word. For example, here we have article défini contracté. That is the French way of how to say contracted definite article. I hope you get me here. So here we are dealing with that contracted definite article whereby it is DE plus LE is equals to DU. In French, you would have said de plus le égale du. The equal sign in French is equal égal. It means égal. So de plus, because even the plus sign, it is written the same in English, but you pronounce it plus. DE plus LE égale du. Repeat after me. DE plus LE égale du. So here now we are dealing with the DE plus the LE. So actually the DE can mean, it's a preposition, it can mean of or from. So the sentence there below, you say je viens du Kenya. Viens means come. To come, it's the verb venir. So it is conjugated to the first person singular. Je viens du Kenya, which means I'm coming from Kenya. If you are to translate it directly, you would have said, direct translation is I am coming from the Kenya, which you don't speak like that in English. You say I'm coming from Kenya. That's why I said you have to translate the meaning. In French, you translate whatever you see is that's in French. That's how you say. I'm coming from Kenya. You say je viens du Kenya. Now let's go to the next sentence. L'exploit du héros. So hero's feat. I hope most of you know what it means, feat. Feat. If you don't know, try and look it up in the dictionary so that you can know that sense. And hero's feat. The hero's feat. Actually, l'exploit means the hero's feat. Because L-E apostrophe, that is L apostrophe means le, means the E has been removed. That is an article. But with the E removed, because we have a vowel, and you know that rule. By now, you should know that rule. So it means the hero's feet. So you see there, it means the feet of the hero. It means the feet of the heroes. But you don't say in English, you don't translate like they don't say the feet of the hero, which it could be a correct, but you don't say like that. Could be a correct sentence, but you don't say the feet of the hero. You say hero's feet. The hero's feet. Let's go to the third sentence. Il joue du violon. So when it comes to musical instruments, if they are masculine, also the same, you always put an article before the instrument, le violon. So if you are playing it, you have to put, it's like you're saying, I'm playing off the piano. So that's how you say he plays piano. So, for example, I'm saying, je joue du violon, je joue du. If it is something feminine, you'll have to say, je joue de la guitare. For example, if it's, I play the guitar, you say, je joue de la guitare, because guitar is feminine. So you can't say, je joue du guitar. You have to say, je joue de la guitare. But since violon is masculine, you have to say, il joue du violon. I hope you understand what I'm trying to get to. Okay, and then let's get to the last sentence in the second row. The last sentence is au bout du coin, at the end of the corner. Au bout du coin. So I hope you pronounce it au bout du coin. I hope you pronounce everything that I've said from the start there. Je vais au Kenya, une crème au chocolat. Je vais au Ghana. Tu vas au cinéma. Then in the second row, je viens du Kenya, l'exploit du héros, il joue du violon au bout du coin, at the end of the corner. So it is at the end of the, so you see du here means of the corner. Let's go now to the third row. So here we are with the masculine, plural masculine, which is feminine. You can use it with feminine or masculine. Pluriel, masculin et féminin. Repeat after me, pluriel, masculin et féminin. That end sign, end is end in French is a. So that is you have the a plus les égale AUX. It is O. A plus les, A plus les égale O. Article défini contracté pluriel. So you can understand. So like I said, you can, even if you have to start in English, it will mean plural contracted definite article. You will start with plural. If it was in English, you start from the other end. So article défini contracté pluriel. In English, you'll say plural contracted article definite. No, excuse me. Plural contracted definite article. That's how you will say it. So, like I said, in French, if you want to put the words, if there are many in French, even if it was USA, for example, United States of America, you will leave it like that. United States, USA, United States of America. United States in French, you say United States of America. United States of America. But in French, you'll say États-Unis d'Amérique. United States of America. You'll start with you'll start with states. États-Unis. État is states. Uni is United Amerique. And you have to join. États-Unis États-Unis d'Amérique. Okay, anyway, we'll be coming to those and those ones later. So, okay, the first sentence in the third row, you see in tat or pom, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about most of the French delicacies, like French dishes. Not most of them, but you'll find some of them, quite a number of them. They use this contracted article, which is with the definite one. So in tat, for example, the first sentence is in tat or pomme. In tat or pomme, an apple pie. In tat or pomme. Even the second sentence is un gigot d'agneau, au haricot. Au haricot. You can't say un gigot d'agneau aux haricots because H of haricot is considered aspiré. It's not silent. If it was silent, you'll join. You'll have considered it as if it is not there. You'd have said un gigot d'agneau aux haricots. But here, since the H is it's considered aspired as if it is like there, you have to say un gigot d'agneau aux haricots. So a lamb's leg with beans. Then the next sentence is j'aime manger des pains aux épices. J'aime manger des pains aux épices. So in French, whenever you see the j'aime and the verb aimer, I know you know it. We have conjugated it. It means to love or to like. But here, it means I like to eat gingerbread, and you have conjugated it with, to the first person singular. That's why you have J apostrophe. It means you have removed the E. Because you cannot have two vowels, so you say j'aime, and then the second verb is always in infinitive. And like I told you, infinitive means the verb before it is conjugated, before you have put je or tu or vous, nous, before it. So the second verb, if there are two verbs and one is conjugated, the second one is never conjugated. It is always in infinitive. J'aime manger des pains aux épices. I like to eat gingerbread. Then let's get to the last sentence, which means we are going to the West Indies. So here, nous allons aux Antilles. So you see, this is how we use this contracted article. So aux Antilles, the West Indies. Why do they say that? It's because the West Indies, it consisted of many islands. There are many. That's why they always say the West Indies, because it is many Indies. It is plural. So in French, you put it in plural. That's why you say nous allons aux Antilles. Just like you have seen in tat or pomme. Pomme is in plural. It's an apple pie, but there are many apples. It's just not one apple. And you have realized that also the pomme actually is feminine. But you see, when it doesn't matter when you're using AUX, that the O. Doesn't matter whether it is masculine or feminine, whether the H is silent, is muet, or whether it is aspired. If it is plural, you'll always put AUX if it is needed. It is always AUX. So you see pomme is feminine, and even the S. Most words in French that end with S, most nouns which end with S and which are also with E, they are feminine, and then they are feminine and they are plural. Because even you can see, if you see pomme, and in tato pomme is ES, it ends with S, it's plural. Haricot, there's an S at the end, it's plural. Épice, there's an S, it's plural. Indies, there's an S at the end, it's plural. So try to get the wind of this and try to know words, because in French, like I told you, it's a language of a language of case. Whereby, what do I mean by that? It means when there's always there's always a case for each for a noun has got a case. If it is singular, it is treated differently, because when you say case, it means that every time there's gender, or there's a plural and so on, you have to treat it differently. So that's why you say it's a language of a case language or something, because it's got a lot of cases. So you see here, it's good to know these gender rules. You have to also know the number, and also the aspired, and all those All those rules you have to know them. So like you see, like here in tarte aux pommes, in tarte, une is an indefinite article, and tarte, now if you see une, you'll know tarte is feminine. So that's why I say a case language. But when you see gigot, you will see it is written un gigot d'agneau, un gigot. So un is masculine, gigot means then gigot is masculine. When you come to Antilles, nous allons aux Antilles, you will see there's Antilles, there's es. So most of the words in French that end with e are feminine, but there are exceptions, which you will know as you practice. If once you practice, it becomes automatic, because there are some words in French that ends with e but they are masculine. For example, a word that is very known in French that is masculine and it ends with an e is the word glass. In French, it is written V-E-R-R-E. It ends with an e, but it is not feminine. It is masculine. So you always say un verre, which means the glass, or you can say le verre, the glass. But you see, most words that end with e in French generally are feminine. But it doesn't mean that you don't have words that end with e that are not masculine. Some of them that end with e are masculine. So you look at those sentences, pronounce them, practice them, and just like you say, like I said, most foods in French, they end with they use a lot this not most food but some foods. You'll find out that you will be finding this article fini, because there are words like there are foods like le coq au vin. You'll find also you'll find le pot-au-feu. Pot-au-feu means stew. You'll find what's the escargot, au beurre persillé. Words like that. You will be finding this because as we go on, because French for beginners course is meant for professionals, but it's meant also for anybody, even those people who are learning French, beginners, even people are learning French in school generally. But as we go along, we are going to be specializing in specific professions, like French maybe for hotel, French for catering, French for tourism, French for business, French for technology, and why not even French for medicine and so on, because the course actually wants mostly to attract professionals, people who would like to do French just not only for the fun of it, but would like to improve their career or even to get jobs as far as using the French language is concerned. French actually is known also for design. We have so many designers, Yves Saint Laurent, we have Pierre Cardin, we have so many designers in French. So people who would like to become designers, fashion, in the fashion field, French have got the best perfumes. Also the gastronomy, French dishes are rated among the best. French wines. So like tourism also in French. So this course actually it's targeting mostly those people who would like to have a professional use with the language, because we just don't want to learn languages. We should learn the languages so that it can also advance our careers. So here, if you subscribe to this channel, we are going to bring you more to this, to know how to even call foods in French, and how to know how to call even name the best wines in French and things like that, and also the business part of French. So subscribe, especially the professionals, I urge you, so you can come here, even those who are not in France and they are planning to maybe become designers, so they want to go into the hotel industry, because tourism in France is very, very, very important, because it is one of the most visited countries in the world, among one of the most visited. We have millions and millions of tourists in France, and tourism is very, very important. And we also have countries like Kenya where tourism is part also of a part and parcel of the economical the economical giants, and it is one of the foreign earners. Foreign, they bring the foreign device, the device, that is the foreign currency, is mostly with tourism. So Kenya tourism, even I know in most of the industries, the hotel industry is there. There's a lot of French inside there. In the tourism, there's a lot of French tourists that go to Kenya. So this course is exactly, it's meant for you people. So you join in numbers, especially you the professionals, join in numbers as we continue explaining how to use some of some of these elements that are necessary for you to master the French language. We still continue with this lesson. I'm not through with it yet because it covers a wide area, and it's still coming, and then we'll get to know more how to use some of these elements. Thank you, and I hope you will subscribe, and you will also tell other professionals who are interested even to learn, because France is one of the countries where you can of course speak French, but it doesn't mean that it is in the only country where French is spoken. There are so many countries where French is spoken, even in Europe, even outside Europe. For example, in Canada, French is spoken, and in half of the African continent, French is spoken. So it's not only in France that you might want to go and to pursue your career. You can go and pursue it in another French country. So if you have this French knowledge, you are going to be able to achieve your dreams. So keep following my classes, subscribe in numbers as we continue with the lessons. I hope you have learned something today, and if you have not learned anything, if you have not understood anything, please go to the comment section and tell me what you did not understand. And if you want me to explain something, please go to the comment section and explain and tell me and ask me, tell me what you want me to explain even further, or even if you want me to repeat a lesson, you can go to the comment section and say what you want me to do. Thank you.